So, Tracer, moving on, deciding a playstyle. The reason I have quotations around it is because a lot of people kind of use it differently than I do. A lot of people think playstyle, they think, oh, well, I'm an aggressive player, I'm a passive player, or whatever. They like to like define themselves as a person to a like a playstyle, which I don't really think is a very good idea. Because if you're in a really aggressive Tracer, for example, what do you do when the right place be passive, right? Vice versa. Where I'm saying playstyle, it could change map to map, game to game, even fight to fight. Um, just kind of going into it, deciding playstyle. So there's obviously whatever you can do like subcategories, whatever. But the two big ones is going aggressive for squishies, trying to deny enemy angles, right? So kind of in green here. So for aggressive going for squishies, you're looking at going for backline, getting immediate kills, or forcing on a pressure. So if I'm Tracer and I go really hard on a Baptiste, all of their team, not all of them, but most of their team is going to either help their BAP or I'm going to kill that BAP, right? And while they're trying to help their BAP and peel, my team can actually push in a lot from the space that I created. And then I want to play this when I have more of a brawlier comp. Uh, so I guess in purple I've kind of listed in order of importance in my opinion what to look for when deciding a playstyle. So I have a more brawler comp. Generally, if you have a Ryan or a Winston, depending on who you're against, uh, you want to do this. Secondly, if you are attacking an objective, um, reason being, if you have control of an objective and you just play to counter the enemy, like poking their tanks or whatever, you're constantly gaining percentages or card space or whatever the game mode is. So when you're attacking, you want to do the opposite. You want to try and get the fight going as fast as possible. That way you don't waste as much percent as you have to. And when you have an alt disadvantage, right? Reason being is because maybe you go in the back line, you one clip the BAP, and you win the fight off that. It's risky, but you kind of have to be when you have a big disadvantage going into it. And then the opposite, spamming the tanks or the engaged tools, because it could be DPS or even supports, um, so they can never push in, right? Uh, so they have a Winston. I'm shooting that Winston. I'm gaining my pulse charge, uh, and that Winston, if he's half HP, he can't jump in. If the ball has no adaptive shields, he can't jump in. If you force recall the Tracer, they can't really push in either. So you want to do this when you generally have a more spammy comp. So again, like Arisa comps, ball comps again into some different comps. When you have control of the objective, like I talked about before, because if you're constantly just slowing the fight down and never really making sure it ends, you're constantly gaining points towards winning the game. And we have an ult advantage because it's just a safer. Um, you don't really have to care if you have such a big advantage going into it. So it's generally a better idea. I think most of the time, not all the time. But if you look at our comp, right, we can dive a lot, right? We have a Genji, we have a Winston. If we just sit there and shoot the enemy Ryan, their BAP's just gonna heal him for free. The guy's gonna get charged. The soldier's gonna spam us out, and we're just gonna lose the fight slowly, right? So we need to really make sure we try and actually find value with dives or whatever, and try and kill the enemy soldier, BAP, Mercy. Maybe if Zari doesn't have her personal bubble. Again, like right now, we should be going aggressive. Or we should have already been going aggressive, right? Because going in this BAP, because we didn't position for going aggressively and going in the enemy backline, in order to get there with these 3 points, which we all know is really bad. So in this scenario, you might just have to bite the bullet and do it, or walk up and do it. But you have to get on this soldier, get on this BAP, or get on this Mercy, or whoever it may be. But just shooting this Ryan, it's not going to do anything. Where if you're on the enemy team, let's say you are um, Lacavette, not sure who that is. If you constantly shoot this Winston and he never jumps in, obviously the time's going to tick down, so you can win off that. But also, your team's going to get more spam value with your Ryan Shield, the soldier itself, and the BAT. Go for the stick. Unfortunately, miss. Not a big deal. Like right now, we're in a stage where we're not really fighting the team. We're just kind of, you know, sitting there watching each other play. Great time to go and maybe set up, go on this BAP, right? Maybe try and go back on this high ground, blink over here. Maybe try and make a play over here. We're just sitting here and shooting Ryan. Yeah. Side of the smoke 4 times already. So now we're in a really good spot, right? We set up behind them. On the flank, we can go into squishy really easily. Or not really easy. Maybe it would have walked around instead. Try and get the high ground. But this is good. We're going for this BAP. And even though we're like shooting this BAP, because they have no healing, because the Mercy's healing the BAP and the BAP's looking at you, you have way more of a chance of actually killing this vising soldier. If he were shooting the Rhine, which he's really passive right now, and you can't then he would probably die. But you see, all this attention is forced back at you, all 4 people. Again, same idea. What should we do right now? Should we get in this BAP? Should we be going around? No matter how much time we shoot, how much we shoot this Ryan, he's never gonna die if he has a BAP in the cockpit. This Mercy, that was risky. Obviously, he missed again, but not a big deal. And we're actually finding value here, right? Yeah, we don't really get the kill. We might later, actually. But we're forcing attention onto us. We're actually making them look at us. Just know that's our team pushing. I like how you're positioned here. They're forcing you out, but if they didn't, you had options going back line. And now you can see it actually kind of changes, right? We swap to Rhine and BAP. So now maybe we can it's still pretty close. Like with the whole comp, if your comp's brawler or whatever, you don't have to get too micro. Like I would just say this is a pretty simple mirror. So what other do we have? Objective. We have control of the objective. So shooting this tracer actually gets value. If you just force them out, then we're just gonna push cart a lot easier. And if you're whatever you decided your playstyle, again, I don't really like using that too much. Before the fight happens, it doesn't mean okay, I'm gonna shoot tanks more, or I'm gonna cancel them out. I'm never gonna go for the enemy backline, or the other way around, or I'm only gonna go for the enemy backline. I'm never gonna shoot the tank ever. Like, yeah, be a little versatile with it, but having a game plan before the fight helps a lot. Leave the fight for a bit too much, but get some nice tracking. End up killing the Zarya. Nice kill. Okay, maybe if we have Hog, we have BAP, or maybe we can say we're a bit poker than there. But I'm not too mad at like doing the wrong playstyle to say if it's this similar. That's mostly it. You don't really have too much of the tracer. It just kind of plays like Cassidy and Torb. So again, any game is gonna be different every single game. Just about adapting to it.